So here's the facts. It ain't gonna last forever for the likes of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. You know, it's gonna come to an end one day, just like it came to an end for MJ, just like it came to an end for Patrick Ewing, just like it came to an end for AI and Kobe, Kevin Garnett, all them. And it's reaching that transitioning period in the league. We already see some of the next big superstars in the making. You got the Zions if he stays healthy. You got the Jason Tatums. You got the Devin Booker's, the Lukas, the Jokic, the Embiids, the Giannis's, all that. So, and we know them, right? But it's not just going to be them. There's going to be a whole new era of superstars, right? And I, for one, have a really good time looking at some of these young guys. Some of the ones are obvious. Some of them you're like, there's potential, but I don't know. And some of them you may not even heard of before. Sometimes, especially in today's league, you got to even look in the G League. And there's some exciting players coming out of the G League. So figure, why not? Go ahead and give some players to look out for. Some young guys to look out for. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe you think it's obvious. Maybe you're thinking that's a huge reach. But that's the whole point. We're trying to see, maybe you just like watching them. You know, the little guys need a fan every once in a while. So that's what we're doing today. This is going to be part one. I got a lot of guys listed to make these lists. So I'm going to split them up 5 at a time. And it's going to be pretty short, just a couple of minutes of a little bit of highlights and a little bit of bio about, you know, where they came from, where they're at right now, what I think is exciting to look at for them, maybe a player comparison or two. So with that said, let's get into it.
So basically, every NBA fan at this point knows big names from the 2020 draft, like Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. But this draft is surprisingly deep in retrospect, and one player in it that I think you should keep an eye on is 58th overall pick power forward Paul Reed of the Philadelphia 76ers. Paul entered the 2020 draft after his junior year at DePaul and averaged 15 points and over 2.5 blocks per game. He's only 6'9", but he has a 7'2" wingspan and a penchant for defense both inside and on the perimeter. B-ball Paul moves with a ton of energy and has a really quick first step for a big. I think that lets him bring an intensity that can match up with quality players in the league, in the paint offensively and defensively. He played a lot in the G League last year and was brought up for the playoffs, but a certain 3-1 lead blowing head coach decided to play DeAndre Jordan until his wheels fell off instead. With the addition of PJ Tucker this offseason, Paul may have to wait even more. But PJ is an old man, and I think Paul will have his time in Philly or elsewhere soon. Player comparison, at worst, Markieff Morris, and at best, prime Paul Millsap.
It's not often you see a top 10 pick be totally ignored by the team that drafted him just to be traded in his second year for a 31-year-old 3-and-D player that only shoots 32% from 3. But that's what happened to 6'10" power forward Jalen Smith, the 10th overall pick in the 2020 draft by the Phoenix Suns. Jalen averaged 15 and 10 his sophomore year at Maryland before Phoenix put the pickles in their nachos, or whatever Charles Barkley says about them.
And the thing is, you know, some places give you good nachos, they put jalapenos. The Suns be putting pickles on it. Oh.
With him only averaging 6 and 5 the first part of his second year before the trade, he still showed a desire to be out there and match up against anybody, even more agile guards with the dribble at their disposal. But after being traded to the Indiana Pacers for Torrey Craig, in that same season, in 22 games, his production shot up to 13 points, 1 block, 7.5 rebounds, and 37% shooting from 3 on 4 attempts, even higher than Phoenix got out of Craig. Indiana and fellow 2020 lottery pick teammate Tyrese Halliburton, who was very good at basketball, seemed to be all in on Jalen to turn into a potential 15 and 10 big with a 3-ball after signing a new contract with the team and being named the starter for next season. Could we see a Pascal Siakam type jump from him, with way more scoring opportunities and a passing savant serving him looks? The 2022 NBA draft has a lot of exciting prospects, and like most drafts, the player at the very top get the most attention. But the Houston Rockets, having the 3rd and the 17th picks, I think may have ended up getting one of the steals of the draft in LSU sophomore Tari Eason. Tari can line up at the 4 or as a wing,
At 6'8" and a 7'2" wingspan, he was the Tigers' best player at sixth man, winning SEC Sixth Man of the Year. He transferred from Cincinnati, where he played his freshman year, and ended up more than doubling his scoring output. Throughout the NBA Summer League, he showed his near dominant two-way potential on less physical opponents. If he can keep refining his three-pointer and maintain that confidence against NBA vets, I think he's going to end up being a long-term starter at the three for this young and promising Rockets team. Player comparison, Jeremy Grant or Robert Covington, hopefully more. Kevin Porter Jr., for a lot of NBA fans, has had his name in the spotlight for the wrong reasons, when his basketball with the Houston Rockets should speak for itself. After all, he is the youngest player to ever score 50 points and 10 assists in a game against Jrue Holiday, and at just 20 years old, taking that record from LeBron James. KPJ was a huge name in high school for his amazing speed, agility, and all-around athleticism as a 6'5" shooting guard, but his freshman year at USC was kind of a wash, with his draft stock actually dropping because of an off-the-court incident suspension from his coach. He ended up going 30th overall and traded to the Cavs, where he had a solid rookie year that was overshadowed by a way overhyped locker room issue that had media personalities gossiping like school children. He eventually got traded to the Rockets for a 2024 second-round pick, where he's been able to focus on basketball since, and while he hasn't hit his peak consistency, he's shown flashes of all-star level greatness. With the drafting of another scoring phenom, Jalen Green, Scoot played his first year at the point guard position. And while Rockets fans like to complain, he actually looked very promising at 18 points per game with 7 assists and less turnovers than the year before. I'm a huge KPJ fan, and as a lefty who can score from anywhere and a promising playmaker, he really looks like a baby Harden in H-Town. Although he was on the 2020 All-Rookie First Team, not being named LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman, or Anthony Edwards, and being drafted to the Kings has an effect to make you relatively less hyped. I don't think that will be the case for much longer for Tyrese Haliburton. Reese slid to 12th overall in the draft after concerns over a broken hand to end his sophomore year at Iowa State, and a kind of scary looking shooting form, landing him with the cursed Sacramento Kings. Who traded him and Buddy Hield out of their crowded backcourt for Pacers All-Star Domantas Sabonis, and placing Indiana's future squarely in Haliburton's hands as the primary ball handler and floor general in just his second year. As a 6'5" point guard with a lanky frame, he gets in passing lanes for steals and plays solid to great defense at times. And even more importantly, with his unconventional jumper, he's never shot under 40% from three, in college or professionally. He has sneaky athleticism and finishing moves, established defender breaking moves like the dribble sidestep three, but his attribute that I think will make him an all-NBA level player and a player teams will be drooling over is his passing. He doesn't just efficiently pass, with an assist-to-turnover ratio of 7-2 in his 2 NBA years, which is better than classmate LaMelo Ball's 7-3, but he uses creativity to create looks many other NBA players wish their point guards could get them. Against the advice of every youth basketball coach ever, he loves to make jump passes. He does it with a clear love of the game, making Tyrese Haliburton basketball must-see basketball. think Tyrese and LaMelo are setting up a new archetype for NBA point guards, and both will have superstar careers.
All right, so thank you for watching young NBA players to look out for. I'm going to do a lot more of these. Like I said, I got a lot of players on the list. I think I'm maybe going to do a little more lighthearted on the bios and stuff next time. You remember when people used to wear jerseys like this? I mean, now you probably just see your uncle at the cookout wear your jersey backwards like this. It don't fit right. I'm just being honest with you about that. Anyways, if you like the video, go ahead and give it a like, of course. If you got some recommendations, let me know. I mean, I got a long list of dudes to look at. I got to look at these dudes for a while. That's right, I said it. So maybe the people you suggest is already on the list. We'll see, but maybe they're not, and I can add them, you know? So go ahead and comment, like, and, you know, if you like the video and you want to see more of these, because I'm going to put out more of these, obviously. Like I said, I got a long list. Give the channel a subscribe. Also, I mean, if you want to check out some of my other, you know, content, none of it's like basketball really so far. But I'm going to do more basketball videos because it's like a big passion of mine, I guess you could say. I got some other stuff going on. I'm going to keep doing other stuff too. Maybe like variety and all that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Anyways, thanks for watching again. Peace out.